Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look here at Carnival Cruise Line stock. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you might have seen my last video on this company where I told you guys that it was an absolutely great time to buy. Now, in that video, I explained how near this $20 to $24 range was going to be your optimal entry here on Carnival, especially if you were a long-term investor on the way back up to $40 or $50 a share. But as you can see right now, Carnival has been paused largely over the last few days here at around this $30 a share level with a support around 24. So you can see that clearly marked out here on the chart. But I want to show you guys some in-depth analysis on what I think is going to be happening with Carnival over the next few days, more than what you can just see here on the chart. And I also want to touch base on why the earnings here for Carnival are going to be extremely important in deciding whether this stock continues to the upside or whether we might see some more resistance before heading up. Now, looking at Carnival here over the last few weeks, but especially over the last few months, you can see that they have a habit of running up and then selling off, running up and then selling off. But every time that the sell-off happens here, ever since these highs in May, you can see that the sell-offs have been getting smaller and smaller. And right now, this sell-off over here wasn't even a sell-off. It was more like a small correction, with Carnival dropping from around $30 a share to 24. And you can see that it was very, very clear and obvious when this stock was a buy. Look at the wicking here on the candles. And again, guys, the wicking is basically going to be this line that gets drawn out from candles. And the reason why this happens on the chart is when there is an immense buying pressure or selling pressure. So again, guys, these candles can happen to both the upside of a trend and the downside. But here with Carnival, you can see that they are on the downside of the trend. And what this is going to signify is that Carnival is an absolutely smashing buy at around $24 a share. And even though we are coming into the earnings, this is where I really think that it's going to be an important time to see whether these buyers on Carnival were absolutely right, or whether they might be buying at a time when the stock needs to rest and that the earnings is going to provide us a very bad catalyst over the next few days. So again, guys, it's going to be pretty important what happens here in the earnings, but looking overall at the chart, you can see that it has been a very healthy growth pattern. And now that we can identify that these sell-offs are getting very, very much smaller, we can kind of have more confidence going in on this stock. And even though I've been holding 100 shares of Norwegian Cruise Lines for a very long time, and my Carnival Cruise Line position, which I showed you guys in my last video on the Robinhood, there is a lot of potential left with this stock. And I think that we are heading towards highs of $35 here pretty soon if we can get a great earnings or if we can get a massive breakout above $30. So again, guys, when we look at these stocks, we want to identify a time when it might be great to buy. So I honestly do not think that CCL is a smashing buy at $28. I think if you can pick this up for 24 after the earnings, then that will be a significantly better time to buy. And that's also showed to us by the chart here on the volume side. You can see that the volume has been steadily declining, and a lot of people are starting to realize that maybe this stock is not ready to be worth $28 a share at this point. So that's something that I'm going to be watching out for over the next week, and why I think that the earnings is going to tie in so heavily with what happens on the price action here over the next few days, but especially what's going to happen long term on the stock, as this could be a critical point for investors to either hop in or hop out. And you can see that a majority of the investors who have hopped in on this name have come in around March, and that's going to be around this $22 a share range. So it's really no surprise that the stock has held this 24 support, but as you can see, they are entering some times where they're either going to break out right now or they're going to see a lot of resistance and head back to 24. So as always, guys, if you are invested in this position, please be very careful because the market is showing some good upside, but at the same time, there are a lot of risks and there is a lot of volatility happening with all the amount of news that's coming out and really the amount of volatility and crazy events that are happening in the world. We recently got that event with the Suez Canal, and that was absolutely insane. It stopped a lot of major traffic for a few days, and it even impacted names like XOM and a lot of other oil-related companies. But as you guys can see here from the chart, CCL was able to recover very well, and that's something that we need to be cautiously optimistic of, especially coming into a heavy earnings report where a lot of other companies are showing some great signs and causing the market to rally. It's really going to be necessary for CCL to show us some great signs before this stock can continue above $30. So again, guys, my price target with this stock, where I want to buy in, is around 24 to 25. That would be great if we can get a retest of that support, and if we can head all the way back to 20 or the lower side of this channel like what has happened in the past, then that will be an even absolutely better time to add to your position with CCL. But overall, I think that this is a long-term growth stock. So again, guys, do not step in on this name right now if you think that it's going to rocket to $50, because I think that the market is not in a position to really overvalue companies like that right now. And even though CCL is still at half of its pre-economic downturn price, we still want to see a lot more strength before buying in, and this weaker volume is not giving me an indication that this $28 might be a great price. So again, guys, this is a mixed review of CCL. I do have a position on the company right now, but I'm looking to exit if we cannot see a break above 28 and if the earnings come out very significantly bad. So again, guys, that is my analysis on CCL. If you want to stay updated on when I'm jumping in or out of any play, make sure you're in the free Discord, which is going to be linked down in the description below. There's really no reason not to check that out. And also the link to the TradingView, which is the platform you're seeing me on today doing all my technical analysis on. So enjoy that for absolutely free, guys. That's going to be in the comments down below, or in the description, sorry. And again, guys, as always, I hope all your plays are in the green.